subjects. Minister for Information Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah has indicated that Cabinet is yet to receive the draft policy on the now controversial comprehensive sexuality education. Speaking on the subject on the Super Morning Show, Ms. Oppong-Nkrumah said Cabinet will soon peruse the document and give the go-ahead for implementation or otherwise. President Akufo-Addo over the weekend gave an assurance that as long as he remains president, comprehensive sexuality education as being circulated will not be introduced into the school curricula. Listen.
I'm sure you've all heard about the recent debate over the introduction of CSE and the accusations that my government and I want to corrupt the morals of our children. I implemented free SHS policy to strengthen accessibility and life-changing education for every Ghanaian child, which will transform into the development of our country. The policy wasn't implemented to corrupt the values of our children. As long as I remain president and a Christian, it will never happen that I will agree to anything which will compromise the values of our society. All the things you heard are not true. Continue to pray for me, for strength, for wisdom on how to govern our country.
In what looks like a bit to clarify the president's statement, Information Minister Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah said Cabinet will make that final decision on the policy, which is yet to be laid before it. He spoke on the Super Morning Show.
This set of guidelines will come to his cabinet for approval, and when it comes to his cabinet for approval, he will make sure that it doesn't contain anything untoward. By that meaning, what people are worried about, this age inappropriate sex education or pro-LGBTQ content.
So this set of guidelines, has this gotten to cabinet yet?
No, it will come to cabinet. As I think has been explained by the Minister for Education, the NACA boss and all others, they are working on what is now in the public domain, which is a draft. They have expressed their views on it. It will come to cabinet, and cabinet will have an opportunity to approve that set of guidelines. And that's what the president is giving commitment to, that the guidelines that will be approved will not contain any of the things that people fear. And he explained the background and the reasons that he will not subscribe to any such thing.
Now, Mr. Oppong-Nkrumah, over the weekend when the education minister was speaking at the World Teachers' Day in Kumasi, he stated that cabinet did not approve these CSE guidelines.
Yes, he was referring to the first time that he presented it to cabinet. And the president mentioned it as well yesterday, that the final version will be approved by cabinet. If you follow how cabinet works, when you're making a policy or you're doing something in your ministry, yes, you submit it to cabinet. There are times when it will be sent back or asked that you go and do a revision, go and do the necessary corrections over a period before the final version is approved. And very often you realize that when cabinet approves something, during our press briefings, we will say cabinet has approved X or Y or Z. So the minister was right when he said that cabinet had rejected it the first time that he had presented it before cabinet. And the president also mentioned that when cabinet finally approves that document, it is not an approved document. When cabinet finally approves it, it will not contain any of these matters which he describes as Brady Bonnie, which is where you started your conversation on.
So cabinet will look at comprehensive sexuality education?
Cabinet will receive guidelines from the education ministry. Whatever name it bears, cabinet will make sure that it does not contain the things that Ghanaians are worried about. That's what the president has said.